Okay, so here's just a few notes on how to fit a chain with an eccentric bottom bracket. This is a Thorn Nomad MK2. I've already loosened off the bottom bracket eccentric, so that moves nice and smoothly, as it should do if you look after it. Please see the previous video on how to look after it. So I'm going to set that to the bottom bracket's right at the back at the 9 o'clock position. If we think 12, 3, 6, 9, 9 o'clock position, so it's the shortest chain position. Just going to do up the bolt to stop it moving whilst we play around with the chain. Then we're going to hook the chain over the sprockets. Now the chain's obviously supplied too long, so we're going to have to shorten it, and we've got to work out where we shorten it. Now we've also got to think there's a half a link to go in here, so we shorten it to this point here and add the half link. We'll probably use up half to 2/3 of the chain adjustment at that point. One link shorter would be too short, it wouldn't work. Okay, so I'm just going to shorten it here. If you're not sure, you're better off to leave it a length long. Find that you haven't got enough adjustment to take that up, and then take a whole link out. So that would be an inside and outside section, and then try again. So take out a whole link. Then we take our quick link. Half goes in that side, half in this side. Connect them together and pull. I then put it on the top part of the chain run because it's not quite home yet. Where is it? I lost it. Give the crank a tap, and that's fully home. So now we just have to adjust the bottom bracket. So the bolts, now it's a good idea to put a medium Loctite on these bolts, stop them loosening off over time. Now the important thing with these eccentrics, bolts go up at this angle, is the bolt wants to hit the thick part here and make these marks here, and that's perfectly normal, that's as it's meant to be. What you don't want is to move the bottom bracket through the lower half of the adjustment, and the bolt will hit the thin part, as on this one here, which has damaged the threads inside. Hopefully you can see that, and that's why this one's been replaced. So we've got to move the bottom bracket. It's at 9 o'clock at the minute, over through 12 towards 3, so the bolt's hitting this part. So with the bolts loosened off, got my tool in the non-dry side, keeping the bottom bracket central because it moves laterally as well. Just take up the slack. We don't want it too tight so that the chain doesn't move at all. Back it off a tiny little amount so we've got a little bit of play in the chain. Just do the bolt up by hand at this stage. Give it a full rotation of the cranks. There's always a slightly tight and loose spot. That's fine. Could go maybe a little bit tighter than that. I feel a little bit of vibration here when backpedaling, so I think that's a little bit too tight. Better off with it slightly loose and slightly tight. There we go. I'm going to tighten up these 15mm bolts with a normal size spanner to firm pressure. It's around about 10 Newton meters if you have a torque wrench, but you don't really need one. And there we go. That's how you fit your new chain.